Seeing that she was alone at home, I went to her place. She also loved me, so we immediately started doing it. I had come fully prepared. After some time, she was completely exhausted. Still, I insisted, and we did it 4 times.
Now listen to this story from the beginning. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.
My name is Bharat, and I was 20 years old at that time. As soon as my college vacation started, I went to my friend's father's mobile shop looking for a job. I was just talking to him about work when a big car stopped right in front of the shop. A very beautiful woman stepped out of it. She walked straight into the shop. It was extremely hot, so she was holding an umbrella over her head, yet her face had still turned red. She was very fair and incredibly attractive. After picking up a phone cover, she was about to leave when she turned back and said to my friend's father, "If you know any boy who can help with household work, let me know. I just moved to this area." The uncle pointed toward me. His gesture made me nervous because I had never done household work before, nor did I want to. But compared to other jobs, working in an air-conditioned home didn't seem too bad, so I quietly nodded yes. The woman immediately told me to get in her car, maybe she wanted to interview me. Before I could even process what was happening, everything was already decided. She had become my employer, and I was now her worker. As soon as I sat in the car, she introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Radhika. What's your name?" I told her my name. Within a few minutes, we reached a huge bungalow. As soon as we entered, she explained all the household chores to me. It was my first day, so I started working slowly. When I was about to leave after finishing my work, she suddenly placed 2,000 rupees in my hand and said, "Come early tomorrow morning." I was doing this job because I was poor, but the money was good. The next morning, when I went to the kitchen to make breakfast, I saw the owner of the house, her husband, getting ready to go somewhere. He left without eating breakfast. He had to travel abroad for office work. While leaving, he told me, "I'll be back in a few days. Until then, stay here. I'll increase your salary. And take care of Radhika while I'm gone." A car arrived to take him to the airport, and both my employer and I walked him out. After he left, we returned to the house. Now it was just the 2 of us at home. We had breakfast together. In the afternoon, she even took me with her to the mall. In the evening, we ate outside before coming back. She treated me more like a friend than a servant. After coming home, I freshened up and went to my room. I couldn't sleep, so I was on my phone. In a few minutes, she walked into my room with 2 cups of coffee. I said, "I don't drink coffee, especially not at night." She replied, "I'm used to drinking coffee before bed. Since my husband isn't here tonight, I ended up making 2 cups. For today, be my coffee partner." I agreed and drank the coffee. It was delicious. I complimented her coffee. My compliment made her very happy. She said, "Your boss never praises me the way you do." Saying this, she suddenly looked sad. I cracked a funny joke and made her laugh again. That night, we talked for a long time. The next morning she made breakfast specially the way I like it. It was new for me, an employer cooking breakfast for her servant. I was never in the habit of drinking coffee, but I had really started liking her coffee, so I asked her to make me a cup. My nature is like that. If I like something, I immediately praise it. And honestly, everything about her deserved praise, so I always complimented her. This made her really happy. That night, before I could go to sleep, she suddenly came into my room. She said, "Bharat, I'm very scared to sleep alone in my room. I managed for the last 2 nights somehow, but tonight I'm really scared. Usually my husband is with me, so I never feel anything." I told her, "Why are you scared, ma'am? You're not alone in the house. If you need anything, just call me, even in the middle of the night, I'll come right away." But she refused. She said, "Until my fear goes away, sleep in my room." She genuinely looked terrified, so I went to her room to sleep. Late at night, she accidentally came very close to me while sleeping. I figured she did it unconsciously, so I quietly moved away and slept again. In the morning, I went back to my room. A little later, she called me from her room. When I went inside, she was nowhere to be seen. I was about to leave when I heard her voice again, this time from the bathroom. I immediately went toward it. She opened the door slightly and called me inside. Then she said, "Barrett, there's no water coming from the geyser. Can you check it? Soap got into my eyes and the tap isn't giving any water." Her face was still covered in face pack, so she looked really uncomfortable. I quickly stepped aside and checked the geyser. Since she couldn't open her eyes because of the soap, she kept them shut tightly. She looked completely restless, so I focused on the tap. I gathered myself, assessed the situation, and checked what was wrong. Because of the soap in her eyes, she couldn't see that the main bathroom valve had accidentally been turned off. That's why there was no water. I immediately turned the main valve on and checked the tap. Within a few seconds, water started flowing again. As soon as the water came back, my work there was done, and I stepped out. A little while later, Madam came into the hall, shaking her wet hair. She walked up to me, said thank you, and went into the kitchen. Madam was truly very beautiful. I had never noticed her beauty this closely before. Sir was really lucky to have such a beautiful wife. It had been a full week since he left for abroad. I even tried calling him to ask when he was returning, but his phone kept coming switched off. I was about to go home, but Madam suddenly said that she felt scared staying alone in the house. She asked me to stay there until Sir returned. I didn't feel right leaving her alone, so I stayed for a few more days. One day, Madam and I were sitting in her room playing carom. Suddenly, she became quiet and started crying. She said, "Barrett, is there something wrong with me?" I replied, "No, Madam. You're very beautiful. But why did you suddenly start crying and ask me that?" She calmed herself and said, "Barrett, for the last few days, you've been spending time with me like a friend, talking to me. Your sir has never given me that kind of time. He's always busy with work and business. He never has time to take care of me or listen to me. It's been 3 years since our marriage, but I never received the companionship, understanding, or affection I expected." Her voice clearly carried sadness and loneliness. She continued, "These last few days, the way you've helped me around the house has given me some relief. When there's no one to talk to at home, even a little company feels comforting." Saying this, she became emotional and gently rested her head on my shoulder for a moment. I didn't know how to comfort her. Just then, her phone rang. As soon as she heard the sound, she pulled herself together and said, "I'll be right back," before stepping out of the room. For the past few days, I had been staying in her room so I could take care of the house and look after her health. And because of the routine, I also picked up her habit of drinking coffee at night before sleeping. I, too, started drinking coffee before going to bed. I always slept more peacefully in Madam's room. The room had a calm, clean, and comfortable atmosphere. But what was about to happen next, neither of us could have imagined. The next morning, when I woke up, I panicked seeing myself. What had happened? How did it happen? And why didn't I feel anything during the night? Fear, suspicion, and confusion all rushed through my mind at once. But what troubled me even more was that Madam was nowhere in the room. A strange doubt crept into my mind. What exactly had happened last night? I quickly got up, gathered myself, and went to the hall. Just then, I heard the front door. Madam entered carrying vegetables, looking completely calm, as if everything was totally normal. There was no sign of worry, fear, or any unusual expression on her face. She looked like an ordinary housewife busy with household chores. Seeing her like that, even more questions began swirling in my mind. Did something actually happen last night? Or was it all just my imagination? Madam came in smiling. As soon as she saw me, she cheerfully said good morning. Then she added, "I slept so well last night. After so many days, I finally got a peaceful sleep." Hearing her words, a flood of questions hit me again. I still hadn't shaken off the confusion from the night. I didn't even eat breakfast that day. I went straight to my room, closed the door, and sat alone. The same thought kept repeating over and over. Was I misunderstanding something? Did anything really happen last night? Or was it all in my head? I tried convincing myself for a long time because I couldn't understand the reality of the situation. Why couldn't I remember a single thing from the night? And why wasn't Madam mentioning anything at all? Was everything I was thinking just an illusion? Finally, I thought, maybe it was just a bad dream, and I forced myself to forget it. After a while, I changed my clothes and came out of the room. Madam talked to me the same way she did every day. I didn't feel even the slightest change in her behavior. A few more days passed. I even spoke to Sir on Madam's phone once or twice. He said he would return from abroad after a whole month. He also told me to continue staying with Madam. My family had no objection either. One day, Madam and I were cleaning the garden outside. While we were talking, she suddenly asked, "Bharat, do you have a girlfriend?" I laughed and said, "No, Madam. Someone like me won't get a girlfriend so easily. Who would want to be with me? But sometimes I feel maybe someone might like me someday." I said that casually, but after hearing my reply, she went silent for a few seconds as if lost in thought. Suddenly, without any hesitation, she said something I never expected. I stared at her in shock. There was a strange expression in her eyes, and I couldn't understand what it meant at that moment. Then she laughed and said, "Oh, I was just joking." "Did you actually take it seriously? Why are you so shocked?" Laughing, she walked inside the house. I realized she was joking, so I ignored it. Madam sometimes joked around or said random things from her mind. It was always hard to understand her. After 2 or 3 days, Madam suddenly started vomiting. I took her to the hospital. The doctor ran some tests and said she was pregnant. Hearing this, I felt genuinely happy. In that happiness, I gently hugged her. I brought her home carefully. As soon as we reached, I tried calling Sir, but Madam grabbed the phone out of my hand. She said, "Don't call your master. Your master or anyone else shouldn't find out that I'm pregnant." I asked, "But why, Madam? This is amazing news. You should tell Sir first. The moment he hears it, he'll rush back home." Before I could finish, Madam said, "The child I'm carrying, it's not your master's. The father of this baby is you." I was shocked beyond words. I said angrily, "Madam, what are you saying? How can I be the father of your child?" Then she said in a calm voice, "Yes, Bharat, you are the father. If you think I'm lying, let's go get a test done right now. Everything will be clear." Her words hit me like a knife. The night I considered a mistake and forced myself to forget, was now standing in front of me as the truth. I couldn't understand when or how any of this even happened. Many memories were blurry, some completely gone, and that's what scared me the most. Looking into Madam's eyes, I said honestly, "If anything I've done gave you the wrong impression or hurt you in any way, I truly apologize. I never intended to make you misunderstand anything. I don't want your or Sir's family to suffer because of me." I was confused myself, and that confusion had made everything worse. I took a deep breath and said, "Let's end this here. Let's clear all misunderstandings. I'm going home now. If I stay away, things will get back to normal. Madam, please don't tell anyone about this." I had barely finished speaking when Madam said, "Fine. I won't give this child your name. But if you want to save yourself, you'll have to get married." I was stunned. "Marriage? What are you saying, Madam?" She replied, "Be ready by tomorrow afternoon. You'll understand everything then." I was completely lost. I couldn't tell my parents anything, nor could I tell Sir. That day was the worst day of my life. Somehow the day ended. The next day came. Madam gave me groom's clothes. She herself was dressed like a bride. I got ready and came to the hall, where the entire wedding setup was arranged. I thought Madam was going to marry me, but nothing like that happened. Madam entered with another girl. The girl was behaving like a small child, she clearly wasn't mentally stable. Madam sat her next to me. The moment she sat down, she started scratching and clawing at me. Even as a grown man, I got scared of her behavior. The rituals were about to begin when Sir walked in. Seeing him, I felt relieved yet terrified. Madam also looked tense. Sir immediately stopped the wedding and said, "Bharat, what are you doing?" Before I could answer, Madam said, "Bharat loves my sister more than his own life." She started questioning me in front of Sir. The truth was, Madam needed me to marry her sister in order to hide her secrets. Out of helplessness, I said yes, I loved her sister. But Sir wasn't convinced. Then Madam took out his phone and showed him some photos. She had taken inappropriate pictures of me with her mentally unstable sister, after laying her next to me when I was unconscious. That's when I realized the scratch marks on my neck were from that girl. because even now she was trying to scratch me repeatedly. Now everything made sense. This entire plan was Madam's. That girl was her younger sister, and Madam had done all this to force me into marrying her. I told Sir the truth. Madam wasn't pregnant at all. The hospital she wanted me to go to was one she knew well. She had gotten fake reports made. Sir demanded an explanation. Madam started crying and said, "I used to put sleeping pills in Bharat's coffee at night. After he passed out, I placed my sister next to him and took photos. Then I planned to show you those photos so it would look like Bharat was in love with her." Her plan was extremely cunning. She trapped me both ways, by pretending to be close to me, and by creating fake proof that I loved her sister. I decided I would never forgive Madam. Taking advantage of someone's poverty is the biggest sin. Sir said the same. He gave me some money and told me to go home. That day I learned something important. No matter how bad things get, never trust someone just because they speak sweetly. People deceive you with sweet words. So always stay alert. Friends, how was the story? Keep listening to such stories and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.